Hello again, everybody. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin at ringside, ready to go with USWA Championship Wrestling here today.
Oh, yes, sir, indeed. We are ready to go. The Simply Divine, Rex King and Steve Dahl. We'll see them here today. The Marinos, Bill and Steve, the Young Stallions, they're on the card. Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett, they're going to be here as well. We've got a full day. The King, Jerry Lawler's here. We've got a big day of USWA wrestling. That's this right here.
Curious about this? Let's find out about it right now. I see the King over here. Maybe he can help shed some light on this. Got a barber chair with the clippers, and everything is ready to go. We have a Southern Heavyweight title match coming up right here today. And, King, interesting stipulation. Jeff Jarrett's title against Brian Christopher's hair.
Did you all hear that? I mean, this is going to shape up to probably be one of the biggest days in the history of TV wrestling right here that we have ever had for studio wrestling, because Brian Christopher has been begging, pleading for a title shot, claiming that he is always ignored, always overlooked, even though he's had I don't know how many. Now, he's finally got the title shot, but he had to put something at stake as valuable as the Southern Heavyweight title that Jeff's putting up. And what is he putting at stake? His own hair. And we want to bring in a gentleman from a salon right here in Memphis, Tennessee, The Perfect Cut, which is over in Raleigh-LaGrange. Michael O'Kelly. Michael, want to welcome you to the show. Michael O'Kelly could be doing the honors here today. You have the chair, you have the scissors, you have the clippers, you have it all. Now, I want to ask you one question. Over at that shop at The Perfect Cut, do you all have, like, if somebody comes in, they want a certain style of hair, do you guys have, like, pictures or books they can look at and choose the style they want?
Yeah, we have several they can pick and choose from.
Okay, well, that's good, because I'll tell you what I did. While I was waiting in the back there, I took myself a little magic marker and an ink pen, and I sort of drew a picture of that idiot Brian Christopher. And I'll tell you what, I want you to look at this, and this is the style that we want Brian Christopher to have today. See that right there? That is what we can you get that for us, Michael, if he loses this match?
Yeah, I think I can do that. I probably enjoy that real much too.
All right, that's great. So if Brian Christopher, if you're in the back, take a good look, pal. This is sort of like looking at a crystal ball in your future, because I'm going to put my money on Jeff Jarrett. I think he's going to remain the champion. I think we're going to see Brian Christopher have to sit his butt in this barber's chair and get his head shaved right here on TV today, live.
Well, you may be right. You're talking about Brian hasn't been overlooked. He and Jeff, of course, have had matches in the past, and we kind of ran that through the computer, and just so you'll know, there's a better than 50-50 chance. 56% of the matches have been won by Jeff. So better than even chances, Brian will be sitting right there to get his hair cut here today. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, good deal.
I think we're all ready. Southern Heavyweight titles on the line. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to get things underway and be back with all the action right after this. Billy Travis is with him. Jeff made the announcement not too many days ago that he had a special partner in here, somebody that knew how to use a guitar, not necessarily in the conventional way. And sure enough, Billy Travis turned out to be the partner. They're here again today. Hello, Billy. Welcome. Good to have you here. Jeff, hello there. How are you? Big doings today for you, huh?
Real big day. You know, I've been sitting in the back thinking about this moment, and Brian Christopher, everybody knows that a couple of weeks back he turned on me. He's been a thorn in my side for over a year now. And since Brian's come along, he thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's cocky. He thinks he can't do any wrong. He thinks he's the best wrestler. He thinks he's the best talker. He thinks he's the strongest, the biggest, the baddest. Well, Brian, what you're going after today is the Southern Heavyweight title. And, pal, I know that you don't even think about who's held this Southern Heavyweight title. Jackie Fargo was one of the greatest champions ever. Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, he was one heck of a champion. And probably the best of all was Jerry Lawler, because he held, that's right, he held the title for over 10 years. And Brian, what I'm trying to do right now is sort of walk in their footsteps. I'm just trying to achieve the superstar status that they achieved by holding this belt. So, Brian, after today, you're still going to think you're great. You're still going to think you're the biggest and baddest, and still going to be cocky. But you're also going to be bald-headed, Brian, and I can't wait to see you sit in that chair and get every head on your head shaved down to enough. That's right. And Rex King and Steve Dahl, yeah, you think you're real big and bad, and you come in and you want to take on me and Billy Joe. Well, Billy Joe...
Hold on, Jeff, hold on. You're just too nice to these boys. So let me tell you something, boys. When you talk about scum of the earth, when you talk about getting down in the gutter, when you talk about rats, you talk about Billy Joe Travis. Compared to me, you two punks are angels, boys. When you're in the gutter, you're just on the surface. I get way down in the dirt. For example, you bring a chair, Billy Joe will bring a chair and a guitar, punks. Well, this week, we got a World Tag Team title match with I guarantee Billy Joe and Jeff Jarrett's going to be ready, and we're going to show you how to get bad and how to get nasty, punks.
That's right, Billy!
Dave, one last thing. Brian, listen up, pal. You got about 15 or 20 minutes before we step in the ring. And I'm going to go back here, find me in the corner, and get to thinking, because a basketball coach that was he was one of my idols, Jim Valvano, passed away recently, and he had a saying, and it said, "Don't give up. Don't ever give up." And that's what my motto is today in the ring, Brian.
Hey, David, one more thing. I'm going to get rid of a little trash today. I got Wolfie D of PG-13. Boys, I am rated X.
Ooh. Billy Travis, I tell you, he can go in there any way you need to, whether it be rough and tough or straight-up wrestling. He's in the ring right now. Here comes referee Kevin Christian, and here comes PG-13. J.C. Ice, Jamie Dundee with that hubcap around his neck. Wolfie D is going to be the official man in the ring here. Let's just hope that J.C. stays out of it. I don't even like seeing him out here in the corner.
You're right about that one.
Billy Travis waits in the ring as Wolfie D steps through the ropes. Referee will give us a signal here, and we will be underway with a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. And here we go. Billy Travis coming right at him.
We're underway. Wolfie D, one half of PG-13, steps in with Billy Travis, another half of PG-13, J.C. Ice. Outside of the ring, and Wolfie reversal here, though. Billy whips him in. Wolfie D goes under, goes back. Good backdrop from Billy Joe. Oh, big uppercut. Sends Wolfie down. J.C. jumps on the apron. Oh.
Billy Travis taking care of both of them here. J.C. jumped up there, and Billy Travis just hammered him with a big old fist and knocked him right down to the floor. There's PG-13. Totally disorganized. Timeout, says J.C. Ice. Will they? Oh, check it. Oh, yeah. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, climb back in the ring there. Billy's waiting for him, man, just standing there.
Sir Wolfie D, from the hood, they say they are. PG-13. Billy Travis, wrestling in out of Houston, Texas. All right, Billy, up against the turnbuckle.
Wait. Sorry, excuse me, Corey. We got... What are you doing out here? We've got a match in progress, for heaven's sake.
You got a match in progress. We know, listen, that Jeff Jarrett out here talking about he's going in the back. He's going to psych himself up. You know, Jeff Jarrett, all that's going to do is wear you out, son. And me and my buddy here, me and the sexy one, Rex King, we've been doing some thinking. We think it's not exactly fair. He's back there in the back psyching up. What do you think, baby?
That's right. You know, another thing we'd like to say, Dave Brown, you know, Billy Joe Travis is sitting out here telling everybody that he's the lowest of the lowest and he can get down and dirty. Well, Billy Joe Travis, you remind me of my partner of a tennis racket. You see, you swing both ways. And the bottom line is this. You have not seen Simply Divine when we get down and dirty. And the bottom line is this. Monday night, Memphis, Mid-South Coliseum. If you think for 1 second, Billy Joe Travis and Jeff Jarrett, you're getting the belts that we got, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong.
You know, Jeff Jarrett, you talk a pretty good fight, and you got a buddy that's supposed to be right out of the gutter. Well, let me tell you about gutters, boy. We'll stop you into the gutter. We'll see how low you can get, Billy Travis. As a matter of fact, you know, we might just not wait around. We might see if we... Let's see what he's got. Let me see if Jeff Jarrett's got the guts to come out here right now and see what's going on.
Now, wait a minute, for heaven's sake.
Oh, you guys stay out of it. Yeah,
we got a match going on, and all of a sudden, King and Dahl out here challenging.
Hey, come on, Jeff Jarrett, where are you at? The
They're beating up your friend, Jeff. Come on out here. Come on, Jeff. Get your butt out here.
I don't know about Jeff coming
Brian
out here. Better
Christopher.
watch that, Jeff.
Brian,
Come on, Jeff. They're beating up your friend. They're beating up your friend, Jeff.
come on,
Get out
Brian.
here.
Sounds like a trap to me, Dave.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Jeff, need some help, Billy. I want Jeff.
Come on, Jeff. Save him. Save your friend.
Get out of here, would you, all of you? King and Dog,
It's-
BG-13, and Christopher.
It's four.
Jeff. Is he back there meditating? You better get out of here before they kill him.
Now, here comes some help. Well, there's Jeff, too. Boy, I hate to see him coming out here. They succeeded in breaking his concentration about the championship match, which is coming up. And, well, at least we got it all separated here. Let's come back and we'll continue with USWA action in just a moment. Well, there's been quite a feud going on here recently between Brian Christopher and the Birdman, Coco Beware. Just take a look at some highlights right here.
Well, you gotta watch this Brian Christopher whenever you're in there with him. Christopher with a big right hand. Referee Frank Morrell. Holding Coco. After warning Coco about using the right hand, Christopher, now referee Frank Morrell as Coco ducked and got out of the way. Watch Christopher. He's got that chain again. Clobbers Coco with it. Oh, boy, he nails the Birdman. Brian Christopher sliding away with that chain, and referee Frank Morrell is going to call for the bell. 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Frank Morrell calls for the bell in 21:30. Oh, that's Frank! He told Christopher to break it in there. He wouldn't. Shoves Christopher out of the way. Coco's got the chain. Okay, Frank Morrell has declared disqualification, on Brian Christopher for hitting it. And look at that. Coco Wack gets the chain. Oh, Frank Morrell just took Christopher, threw it back in there, and Coco Wack.
Well, you saw it right there. Coco Beware going against Brian Christopher, and a mighty unhappy Brian Christopher, but Brian Christopher, he's coming, that attitude, he's got that attitude once again as he heads this way, that evil little smile on his face. Brian Christopher, we've already seen him unofficially a time or two today, but now here he is, and Brian, I guess you're aware of Coco B.
Dave Brown, I want to ask you something. I want to know what is that barber chair doing here? And why are them clippers sitting in it, along with them scissors and the comb, huh, Dave Brown?
Well, I think you're aware generally why they're here. They're here because your hair is at stake, Southern title is at stake for Jeff, and if you lose, they're going to put you in that chair right there and shave your head right here on television today.
Well, Dave Brown, before we go any further, I want to know who is the referee here today. Me. Is it Frank Morrell? That's all I want to know.
No, it's Kevin.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what. Frank Morrell, you bald-headed idiot. You have done touched me for the last time. Every time I got a match, you're always pushing on me. You're always touching all over me. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Next time you ever lay a hand on me, I'm going to knock your bald-headed self all the way up into the top row of General Mission. You understand me? Mark my words. And another thing, Dave, let me tell you what. You stand there and you hold it right there. Don't move again, okay? Now, everybody comes out here, they start running their mouth. Brian Christopher, he thinks he's big. Brian Christopher thinks he's bad. He thinks he's the greatest thing on earth. Well, let me tell you something.
Brian Christopher knows he's big, bad, and he knows that he is the greatest thing on earth. Everybody wants to come out here and they say, Jackie Fargo, he was a legend. He was one of the greatest Southern title holders of all time. You know, I always wonder, why is it when I step in the ring, whoever I'm against, they announce it, let's just say it's Jeff Jarrett. In this corner, Jeff Jarrett. Oh, yay, Jeff. And in the other corner, Brian Christopher. You see what I'm saying, Dave? That's the way it's been all throughout time. These morons have been trained that Jackie Fargo, they've been trained that handsome Jimmy Valiant. You're idiots. You think that Coco Ware and Jerry Lawler, you think that you're supposed to clap for them whenever you hear their name. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I am a star. I'm not a second-rate wrestler like Jackie Fargo, handsome Jimmy Valiant. I am the greatest wrestler that has ever drawn a breath. You understand me? So from now on, when you announce my name, you people should rise up and clap for me. I don't understand why you people will not clap for me. It's always Jeff Jarrett, Coco Ware, Jerry Lawler, and all these other stupid.
Well, you see who the fans appreciate right there.
Didn't I tell you to shut your mouth? Huh? Well, let me tell you.
Coco, beware, right?
Hey, I'm warning you, this is my interview time, and nobody, and I mean nobody, interrupts me. You hear me? Hey, do you hear me? I said nobody comes out
That was the best compliment that you ever had, that you ever said, punk. You want to say Jackie Fargo was a legend? Jimmy Valiant was a legend? Jerry Lawler is a legend? Well, baby, hey, you can rank me as a legend, too. You can rank Jeff Jarrett as a legend. But you think those people that you're fooling those people, they're not crazy, baby. They're not crazy.
They're stupid as you are.
You know what? I'm telling you, that's the reason why they boo you. That's the reason why they boo you, because you're nothing but a punk. And I'm gonna tell you one thing.
No, you can ask me something. You ain't telling me nothing.
All right, come on, guys. Come on now.
You may not get the chance to wrestle Jeff Jarrett today, because I'm guaranteeing you, I will kick your booty all over this dirt house. What you say yourself is a superstar. You ain't nothing, punk. You ain't nothing, because you ain't never paid no dues. You understand that? You ain't never paid nothing. That's all I got to say. And you put that in your little peace pipe, and you smoke it. You understand me? Because I'll knock you the next week. You make me so mad. You know what I can do? I can just throw up in your mouth.
Okay. Go on now. Go on, Coco. You've ran your mouth long enough.
Oh, look out, look out.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Christopher. Oh, the bumper hard. He's up the board, man. Give him a mistake, though. Oh, look out. Hey.
Coco's after him. He hasn't got him yet. Brian Christopher through the ring. Coco right behind him. Now one's on one side, one's on the other. Coco hasn't given up on him, though. He's got him separated from the escape route, I think, right about now.
Yeah, boy, I wish I could catch him for him, too.
Coco saying, what's the matter? You're so big and tough. How come you're running? Here's Eddie Marlin trying to settle it all down here. He's after Coco. What he's going to do is say, hey, this is not time or place for it. I understand you're upset, Coco, but no. There's the King once again, making his way around to the interview area. He's got the unified title in hand. Some of the King's fans over there. Boy, Christopher's out here talking about second-rate wrestlers. Here's a Hall of Famer if I ever saw one right here, the King, Jerry Lawler.
Thank you, Dave. I understand you have a little bit of footage that you're going to show, and I just sort of wanted to come out here for a second and make sure I had a good front row seat, too, because everybody remembers, you know, we've had the past couple of weeks, we've been paid a visit from the World Wrestling Federation by Sensational Sherry. And she came, you know, she came down here last week. I had to check the calendar because I couldn't tell if that was her face or if it was Halloween. Because I want to tell you something. She is ugly enough to make a freight train take a dirt road. But all that aside, she proved to be pretty tough. She climbed that steel cage in that match with Macho Man. I mean, you know, like she'd been eating bananas all her life or something like that. She climbed right in there, and she interfered, and she made me a little hot. Well, last week, I got my chance to get back at Sensational Sherry.
Well,
go ahead.
She's upset, too. She's mighty upset. As a matter of fact,
Well, I know she is, but I think, do we have the highlights of the match to see why she's upset?
yeah, I was going to say, if we show you that right here, maybe everyone will understand why she's upset.
That's good.
And then we'll get a comment from you. Take a look at this.
Oh, boy. 1909. Lawler and Miss Texas, they got the win. But Flamingo and Martel jump on a King and Miss Texas. Oh, look at him! Flamingo went after Lawler. Martel was trying to pause off Miss Texas. The King's got Jerry Martel. Oh, boy! Oh, he paused on Jerry Martel. There goes Martel. And there goes the King and Miss Texas. The winners of the bout. We've been asked to go into Sherry Martel's dressing room, and I understand she's got some words, Sherry.
Look at us, Jerry the King Lawler. Look what you did to her. Are you proud of yourself? Attacking a lady like this? And you call yourself a man? You okay, baby?
What about her interfering in the bout out there, Scotty? She interfered as well.
Wait a minute. Jerry Lawler, look what you've done to me. What is it? How does it feel to pounce of a woman?
You okay,
Scotty,
baby? You okay?
Jerry Lawler, I know people all over the wrestling world. No matter what it takes, no matter who I have to call, somebody's gonna make you pay. Somebody's gonna come here and they're gonna break your stinking neck, and they're gonna do to you what you did to me tonight.
Get out of here, Macklin! Get out of here!
Well, King, I know you consider that maybe an idle threat. You've heard a lot of them, but it looks like maybe she has delivered on this one. Take a look at who is coming in here. Papa Shango.
Here is Papa Shango! And his opponent, weighing in at 246 pounds, hailing from Anaheim, California. Here is Mark Mead!
Oh, my goodness, a shoulder breaker. And this man, Papa Shango, almost broke Mark Ming in half. Forget about
Papa Shango. He's about 6'6". He's intense. I know I don't have to tell you about him. You're aware of it.
Well, you know, after standing there watching that little piece of video.
Now, wait. Flamingo.
You're a woman beater. You saw that, Dave Brown. Everybody saw it. You're a woman beater, King. You took a poor defenseless woman and you pounded her. What kind of man are you? You know what? You're a depraved degenerate. You should be in a cell with Mike Tyson somewhere because you're nothing but a scumbag. Pile driving a woman like that. You hurt her. And you're going to pay for it, King. You're going to pay. Papa Shango's coming. And I'll tell you what. There ain't a guy in the WWF that doesn't want a piece of you for what you did to Sean Martel. You're going to get it, King. You're going to get it.
Scotty Flamingo. Well, I guess at least he's out of here.
You know, he says there's not a guy in the WWF that doesn't want a piece of me. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I think about each and every guy in the WWF. I think they all stink. You understand that? That goes for you too, Scotty Flamingo. Now, Sherry Martel, you put yourself in a man's place, and that's why you got exactly what you had coming. Is that what you got? What you had coming? Now, you want to go back up there, and you want to send down some mercenaries to try to do your dirty work. Well, Papa Shango, yeah, you're 6'6", is that right? Weigh nearly 300 pounds. And as I saw there at the end of that video, you've even got some kind of a skull with some fire shooting out of it. Well, let me tell you something, Papa Shango. You're looking at the man right here that knows a little bit about fire. Is that right? So I'm going to tell you something. You come on down, because you're not in the World Wrestling Federation. You're in my backyard. You come on down and see the king, and I'm going to make you a promise, Papa Shango. The only flaming skull that is going to be in that ring this week is going to be the skull that's painted on your face. And it's going to be flaming courtesy of the king. So come see me, pal.
There's a word from the king, Papa Shango, coming to town. Well, we're into May. And I tell you what, we're going to start May at the Mid-South Coliseum with a huge night. 8 big, huge matches at the Mid-South Coliseum beginning at 7:30 Monday night. Let's just run them down for you right here. Opening match, Wolfie D will be going against one of the young stallions, Steve Marino, in the opening match. A couple of guys that normally you see in tag team events. They're going to be going against each other in the single match, opening things up Monday night at the Coliseum. Following that, you got J.C. Ice, the other member of PG-13, who will be going against Miss Texas in a grudge challenge match, a mixed match here. J.C. Ice against Miss Texas. Don't count Miss Texas out of this one, let me tell you that. Then you got Bill Marino, the other of the young stallions, going against the Rock and Roll Phantom.
Yeah, Bill better look out for that guitar that Phantom brings down there, too.
Danny Davis will be climbing into the ring for the next match. He'll be going against Scotty Flamingo. Scotty the Body out here issuing challenges to Jerry Lawler and anybody else who happens to be around. Well, you better pay attention to the nightmare. Danny Davis will be his opponent Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. How about a battle royal? Maybe you better call this one a battle brawl, as you got 8 people in there, the young stallions, the Marinos, also Danny Davis and Miss Texas on one side of the ring. On the other, you got the Rock and Roll Phantom, you got PG-13, and Scotty Flamingo. Put them all together in an 8-wrestler battle brawl. Return grudge match. And boy, I tell you what, Coco Beware upset with Brian Christopher. Christopher none too happy with Coco Beware. We showed you some highlights earlier. This one's been going on for a while. And it all comes to a head Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum as they step into the ring for the big grudge rematch. Brian Christopher against Coco Beware. USWA tag titles will be on the line then. Rex King and Steve Dahl, Simply Divine, will be defending against Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis, a team which, well, I tell you what, they made big noise in the USWA and in other parts of the world, too, as tag teams last time around.
Yeah. Back
together here just in recent days. And can they do it again? Well, we'll find out Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum with the USWA tag titles on the line. Then, final match of the night. You just saw the video on Papa Shango. He's big. He's 6'6", 300 pounds or so.
Yeah.
Got that strange face painted on there. The fire the King talked about with that rocket launcher, skull, whatever. I don't know what he calls it, but man, I tell you what, it looks dangerous. But the King says, hey, we know about fire here too, and he's coming to our backyard. It'll be at the Mid-South Coliseum. The unified world title on the line. Sherry Martel has sent in Papa Shango to do battle with the King, Jerry Lawler. It's going to be one of those nights you don't want to miss, especially with Shango in town. Tell you, he is something to see, I tell you what, and especially Jerry Lawler is going to be keeping a very close eye on it.
Yeah, you mentioned that May is here, Memphis in May is here, and maybe a little barbecuing down at the Coliseum.
Could be mayhem at the Coliseum come Monday night. We'll be back with more USWA action right after this. The title match is next. Jeff Jarrett climbing up into the ring. The challenger for the Southern Heavyweight title is already there, Brian Christopher. Jeff has that Southern title. He is intent on keeping it here today, but it is, in fact, on the line. Jeff Jarrett defending a very difficult title to hold on to, the USWA Southern Heavyweight title. It has been one of the most important belts in the history of wrestling. Over here, right in front of the desk, there is a barber chair, and Barber Michael O'Kelly is standing by because Jeff's putting up the belt. Brian Christopher had to bring something to the table, and he had to agree to put up his hair. And not only put up his hair for a styled haircut, it's going to be a shave. It is going to be shaved bald if he loses this match to Jeff Jarrett here today. Well, you just win the match and then you won't get your head shaved, but if you do lose the match, we'll be looking for you right over here. The clippers have been plugged into the power, and Michael is standing by to shave the head of Brian Christopher if Jeff Jarrett is successful in his title defense here today. Christopher yelling at the crowd, complaining to the referee about this and that.
As always.
Boy, I tell you what.
Nothing new from this guy, boy.
You better pay attention to the champion. And we are underway. The USWA Southern Heavyweight titles at stake right now.
Yes, sir, indeed. Sanctioned by the USWA, and this should be a good one. Jarrett and Christopher, title versus hair. We got it for you right here on TV today.
We've got plenty of time. We have a special agreement on time limit for this championship match, and I believe we're going to have just enough time just to let it go, but if time should run out without a decision, we'll continue a tape rolling and let you know next week what happened.
Here we go, Christopher. Series of knee lifts to Jeff. Whips Jeff in. Jarrett leaps over. Sunset flip two. Thought it could have been a quick one there. Rolls him back up again there now. That's Jeff. Only two again. Christopher kicks out of it. Jeff rolls him up again. Shoulders down, and he can only get two.
Jeff Jarrett not wasting any time going for the victory here. He doesn't want to mess around with Brian Christopher. I think that's good strategy because the longer Brian Christopher stays in there, I think perhaps the better his chances of taking the title back from Jeff Jarrett. Christopher, of course, a former holder of the belt. Jeff Jarrett wants to just take care of business.
Fans chanting Baldy to Christopher. Maybe his new name after this. Christopher. Goes over and gets.
He took that sign away from the fan. The King
yeah, he took it away from one of the fans sitting over there.
Artist rendition of the way Brian would look after he had his head shaved, and Brian didn't like that at all. They just went into the audience, took it away from the guy who had it, and tore it up.
Yeah, take it away from one of the great fans here. Christopher standing in the corner. Jeff Jarrett tangles up with him. Jarrett twisting the left arm of Christopher. Tightens up on him again. Jeff Jarrett wrestles out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Christopher from Memphis, Tennessee.
Hair pulling by Brian. Christopher yanks Jeff back to the ropes. Knee to the midsection.
Whips him in the ropes. Jeff goes under. Comes back under again. And a flying press. He got him down. Covers him. 1, 2. And Christopher gets out of it.
Looked for a moment as though Jeff might have him for the 3 count, but it was not to be.
Thought it looked like he could have got him and made a stick in there, but Christopher some kind of way squeezed out of the cover. Got from under the 2 count and was able to kick out before 3. Christopher complaining, he pulled my hair.
Yeah, only hair pulling I've seen has been the other way around. He's pulled Jeff's hair a couple of times. You know, we complain about him, his tactics, his attitude, all that sort of thing, but we can't take it away from him. Both these guys right here are tough wrestlers, both championship caliber wrestlers. Either of them can hold the Southern Heavyweight title when this day is done.
Oh, indeed. You just hate to see Christopher use the kind of tactics he used in there.
Goodness, he snapped that arm. He can injure that arm like that. But even snap a bone, shoulder is in danger. Oh, he's going to work on it now.
Yeah, he slams it right in the top turnbuckle, this Christopher.
Try to create a weakness and then take advantage of it.
Yeah, smart move from him, though. You got to give him that much. Over holding on to Jarrett, holding on to that left arm. Slams down on the shoulder again. That doubled up fist. Christopher not letting up at all in this Southern Heavyweight title bout. Tightens up on Jeff Jarrett. Christopher drops down on it again. Jeff gets over in the turnbuckle. Should be a break for him over there. Christopher wraps his arm around that top rope is what he's doing. And he's fighting it.
Boy, he's hurting him too. Jeff yelling at the referee.
Fighting on his arm is what he was doing. Reversal here. Jeff went in, but he caught that left shoulder. Boy.
Jeff just let momentum carry him in there. He drove that left shoulder, and it's one of those things that as soon as you do it, you know you've made a mistake. That shoulder tender anyway, and Jeff drove in there and didn't do it any good. You know, psychologically, this can work on Jeff in addition to physically. You start thinking about the shoulder, trying to protect the shoulder, and you don't react naturally the way you would normally in a match.
Yeah.
Christopher trying to exploit that to the full.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
not letting up on it at all. He wraps his leg over on top of his shoulder, on top of that top rope over there. Takes Jeff Jarrett now and throws him right out of the ring.
Yeah, threw the ropes down into the ring.
Yeah, but look at him. We've got come to the king. Jerry Lawler, you can see him there.
he's got several copies of Baldy Bryan. Oh, meanwhile, down to Jeff. Nailed by Brian Christopher down here on the floor.
Yeah, there's the king handing him out there.
Look out. Over to the ring post, and Jeff's left shoulder rammed into the ring post by Brian Christopher.
He's out here socializing with the fans is what he's doing, Brian.
Passing out posters, literature it looks like. I don't see him interfering in the match at all. You better take care of business in there.
Look like the king may have found himself a copy machine somewhere and got him a few copies. Hands him out to the fans, and he's cheering for Jeff Jarrett. Oh, everybody's got their Baldy Bryan signs up and waiting to see the outcome of this sanctioned USWA Southern Heavyweight title bout. Jarrett and Christopher.
Go, Jeff, go. And I tell you what, Jeff needs that at this moment. He needs to know the fans are behind him, as Christopher has succeeded in creating a weakness in the left shoulder. Now, what is this? Scotty Flamingo out here.
Yeah.
He's cheering on Brian Christopher. Lawler across the way cheering for Jeff Jarrett. Guys getting involved here. They have their favorites, too, into who represents the USWA as the Southern champion.
Yeah, indeed.
Lawler, of course, it was considered Jerry Lawler's belt for many years. He held it.
A long time.
If he lost it, it wasn't long till he figured out a way to win it back.
Oh, look at that! Christopher wins, but he catches the boot from Jarrett, and look at that.
Oh, now I got King
Simply
and Dahl
defined,
out here, too.
Rex King and Steve Dahl, they're out here with Flamingo. And Jeff Jarrett continues, comes off the ropes and misses. Oh, boy, thought he could have had Christopher off the middle rope.
You know, I understand the enthusiasm for the fans and the guys, but I don't know. I'm too thrilled to see everybody around the ring here, especially Simply Divine and Scotty Flamingo.
Ah, yeah, look at there. Jeff, oh, boy,
Oh,
only
that
two.
close. Only a 2 count, but I thought he had him. The referees, he's assured us, no, it was just a 2 count.
Yeah, the King went over and got a little cheering help over there, too, to cheerlead with him. He went and got the young stallions, Bill and Steve Marino. And the fans behind Jeff Jarrett, the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Boy, but he's got his hands full today with Brian Christopher. And here comes even more cheers for the side of Christopher. Look at that! Comes off the ropes. 1, 2.
Oh, so close. Man, he almost had it, but not quite. Christopher able to break out of it just before the 3 count hit the mat.
Yeah, Jarrett's laid out in the middle of the ring. That's Christopher on the top rope, and he drops the leg down on him. He covers him too. 1, 2. Oh, Jeff gets out of it. PG-13, J.C. Ice and Sir Whoopi Dean. They're out cheering for Brian Christopher. The Birdman, Coco Beware, has John Lawler, the Marinos, and Billy Travis. Jarrett hooks Christopher. 1, 2, and couldn't get him. Hey, Christopher gets his shoulders down. He only gets 2 out of it.
Reversal after reversal. It's back and forth. And, man, look at these guys around the ring. I don't think I've seen excitement about a match from other wrestlers like this since that night when Jerry Lawler won the AWA title at the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum a few years ago. Everybody was into that match, and this match is starting to remind me of it, the atmosphere.
And the intensity, boy, you talk about intensity. Southern Heavyweight title hanging in the balance, Christopher and Jarrett. Boy, Brian Christopher, big shoulder, and he nails Jeff Jarrett there with the right hand.
That's another one in there.
Christopher.
Doubled up fist. 3rd time he's hit him with a fist.
Hey, Jeff Jarrett whips him into the turnbuckles over on the other side. Goes in off the jab. Oh! Jarrett gets out of the way. Hey, he's got him rolled up here now. 2.
Foot on the rope.
Foot on the rope.
Yeah, he would have had him if he'd been out in the middle of the ring there. I don't think Christopher could have broken it, but he had a foot on the rope, and that stopped the count.
By God, he thought he could have had him there, but he got his foot on the rope. He's got Christopher's boot. Swings him around, a coming knee drops him on and pull back.
Both of them hit the mat. Shoulders coming off of the rope by Christopher, and both of them are down. Everybody around the ring is saying, come on, cover him, cover him. If either wrestler can get a cover, he's got a shot at it. Christopher covers. 1, 2. Oh, he's only got a 2 count. Only a 2, and Jeff Jarrett brings up that right shoulder.
Jeff got out of it. He kicked up just in time on the 2 count. Christopher whips him in. Look at Jarrett going. Oh,
both of them hit each other with right hands, and both of them again hit the mat.
Man, oh man, you talk about a bout. Great bout between Jeff Jarrett and Brian Christopher. Expected none less at all between these two, but it's been a great single bout here on USWA Championship Wrestling. Christopher setting Jeff up. Can't get him, though. Jarrett hangs on. He's got Christopher up. Suplexes him down. Takes him down with a big suplex. Reversal here. He whipped Jeff into the rope.
What a move by Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, he came over the top with his boot. Got Christopher covered.
Again, just a 2 count.
Oh, boy.
Brian Christopher almost out of it. Jeff was that close to successfully defending the Southern Heavyweight title, which is on the line, and putting Brian Christopher over here for a head shaving. Jeff Jarrett climbing the ropes in the corner. Brian Christopher on his hands and knees, up on his feet. He turns, and Jeff presses him down to the mat. But a roll-up by Brian Christopher. He got a 2 count. Momentum kept Jeff rolling. My goodness, what a match.
Flamingo and King and Doll and PG-13. They're all out here complaining to referee Kevin Christian. It was 3, it was 3, it was 3. It was only 2. Christopher, he's clobbering away on Jeff Jarrett now. Now Jeff again with another right hand. Jarrett still on his feet, though. Christopher slugging away. Hands behind Christopher. All reversal, he whipped Jeff in. And he DDT's in. Big DDT from Jeff Jarrett. What a move. Oh, boy.
Christopher staggering, and Jeff nails him with a right hand. Fans, we're going to need to think about a break, but I'm not going to break away from this. Let's stay with it right here.
Talk about great bouts and great action. Man, is this one. Hot
in the corner.
Southern heavyweight title. Oh, Christopher dropped Jarrett right on his knee. Gets Jeff down.
These guys have been battling since it started, just like this. Going toe-to-toe against each other. Christopher on his feet with a right fist as Jeff stands up. He's still standing as Christopher continues to hit him.
Yeah.
He returns fire.
Jeff fighting back now. Blocks again a right hand from Christopher. Comes off the rope. Busts Christopher with a right hand. Sends him down. Jeff Jarrett comes up. Oh, look at Steve Dahl. I don't know if they got a camera shot of it or not. One, two, three. Oh, boy. Steve Dahl out here tripped up Jeff Jarrett. Jeff fell face first to the mat, and Christopher pinned him up 1, 2, 3, but interference from Steve Dahl. I know it didn't look good when they were out here.
Steve Dahl tripped up Jeff Jarrett, and now Brian Christopher being treated as a hero over here after getting the 3 count, and the referee, Kevin Christian, picks up the Southern title, hands it to Brian Christopher. The referee didn't see what happened.
No, he didn't see it.
He just saw Jeff's shoulders on the mat. He counted 1, 2, 3, and Brian Christopher has been awarded the Southern heavyweight title. Jeff Jarrett got tripped up from outside, interference from one of Simply Divine's members, Steve Dahl, and now they're trying to explain exactly what happened.
Referee Kevin Christian, he's over listening to everybody. He's trying to figure out what in the world happened.
Lawler says, listen to the crowd. The crowd will tell you what happened.
Yeah, Lawler's trying to tell him.
And Steve Dahl, oh, look out.
Oh, we've got a big
goodness.
ball now. Everybody's in there. They're all going at each other. Coco Ware's got Christopher. If he can catch up with him, Christopher drops that Southern title, and boy, he runs freely around the ring. He runs in the crowd back there. Brian Christopher's over in the audience somewhere. Hey! Comes out of the back curtain stage.
Yeah, Christopher picked up the belt on the way, and he's headed out of here. Meanwhile, Coco Ware bumps into Wolfie D, who gets nailed. We've still got the free-for-all going. Christopher is left. He grabbed the Southern title, and he is gone. He's out of here. He is the new Southern champion, at least pending a review of everything.
Yeah,
the referee's ruling is going to have to stand. That's the way it is. The referee didn't see what happened.
Yeah,
he just saw the shoulders down.
Yeah, that's all he saw was the shoulders down.
We'll be back with more from the USWA. Man, what a match we had going there, and then to have it end like that, King, is just ridiculous, huh?
Well, I mean, it is ridiculous when you get all of those guys around the ring. You know, I feel like partially taking some of the blame. Maybe I shouldn't have come out here to begin with, because then all the rest of these jerks come out there. And when you get that many guys around the ring, something's going to happen. But I mean, that is not right. Jeff had the guy beat 15 times, and then to have somebody, you know, if Brian Christopher can beat Jeff. And I think Jeff would be the first one to say, hey, I'll stand up and I'll admit defeat and I'll give him the belt. But Brian Christopher did not beat Jeff Jarrett. It was those jerks, Rex King and Steve Dahl, all around the ring. They're the ones that interfered in the match. Brian Christopher, I don't know how you're going to stand there and call yourself a champion, because in my book, and I guarantee in everybody's book that's watching this show and everybody out here, you are no champion. Do you understand that, punk? All right, oh, man,
I'm with you, and the fans, too. Everybody's still upset about it all through the commercial break. Folks were standing and all sorts of things, but there are a lot of other things going on. We're going to check out town action coming up here in just a minute, and I know you have some things going on, too.
Well, exactly right. I'm just, you know, we got some towns that we're going to be wrestling in. The USWA is all over the place, and some big action. And I just wanted to come out briefly and say, you know, I mentioned last week we had big softball game scheduled for Humboldt, Tennessee, which was scheduled for tomorrow. And I guess you know how the weather's been. No, I'm not blaming you, David. But it has been rough. It's been rained out. But it's rescheduled for June the 6th. up in Humboldt, Tennessee. And our game last week was rained out also up in Jackson, Tennessee. And that's been rescheduled for, that'll be coming up the week after Mother's Day. So that'll be May the 15th in Jackson, Tennessee, to benefit the Senior League, Senior Baseball League up there. And I went to the Paul McCartney concert the other night, one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen. Had an opportunity to meet a great gentleman, Mr. Carl Perkins, and I found out that he watches wrestling here every week, and want to say hi to him and look forward to him coming out and seeing us when we're up in Jackson. He is a great, a true legend.
He is indeed. That's a great guy.
Yes, a great guy. I guess that's all I want to say. But anyway, I'm sick over this match.
Yeah, I understand. We are too, and yeah, I'm sorry about the rainouts. Yeah, we all saw it there. But all right, keep in mind the softball games that are coming up later on, and all the other things. Speaking of all the other things, we got action coming up a bunch of places, Corey.
Yeah, we do. Starting Friday night, May 7th, Selma, Tennessee. McNair Central High School in Selma. The King, Jerry Lawler, be in Selma. Jeff Jarrett, Brian Christopher, and special referee will be Joe Manis. Everybody knows Joe around there. Joe Manis will be the special referee in Selma, Tennessee. Friday night, May 7th, 8 o'clock, bell time in Area Central High School. Sunday, May 9th. Next Sunday, Mother's Day. Big Mother's Day special as well for mothers. Special gift for some special mothers. The oldest mother present and mother with the most children present with her the day of the matches on next Sunday. We'll get some special gifts. You can see the WWF versus the USWA. A lot of WWF stars, the USWA top stars will be there. Tickets on sale as always at Front Page Cafe for Jonesboro, Arkansas. Next Sunday night, Mother's Day special in Jonesboro. Also, championship wrestling coming up in Kaiser, Arkansas. That's Friday, May 14th in Kaiser, Arkansas. 8 o'clock bell time in Kaiser. Friday, May 14th in Lexington, Tennessee. USWA championship wrestling as well as coming up in Lexington. Malden, Missouri. Malden, Missouri is also coming up. That's going to be Friday, May 21st. In Malden, Missouri, all the USWA top stars in Malden. Friday, May 28th, 8 o'clock bell time, all the USWA top stars in Brewston. And coming soon, Crenshaw, Mississippi, as well as Corinth, Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi, Batesville, Mississippi. A lot of great USWA championship wrestling. Corinth, Mississippi as well, and Kennett, Missouri. All coming up. USWA championship wrestling is on tour. Don't forget, Friday night, Selma, Tennessee, in McNair Central High School, USWA championship wrestling. We're back here with more. Want to stay tuned. Rex King and Steve Dahl, they'll be in the ring.
The Young Stallions in the ring. Over on the right of your screen there, Bill and Steve Marino, the USWA Tag Team Champions, just climbing into the ring right now. Simply Divine, Steve Dahl, and Rex King. They have already made their appearance here today before in a most unwelcome way as they interfered in a championship match. This is a non-title match, even though they hold the World Tag Titles. They will not be defending them here today, a non-title match, but as far as the Young Stallions go, the Marinos would certainly like to get a victory, and that would put them right in line for an official challenge to the tag titles.
Yeah, you mentioned, Dave, about the Simply Divine King and Dahl being unwelcome in the bout. I think these two guys may have been unwelcome as far as a lot of fans are concerned, even before they got here.
Well, you're right about that.
Boy, these guys are something else.
They are indeed. The attitude that they have exhibited since they returned to the USWA has been less than desirable. Although I must say that their wrestling, they wasted no time in winning the tag team titles, and they're holding on to them pretty well.
Defeated the Moondogs for the titles, and they've held on to them since King and Dahl have. Steve and Bill Marino with a big knee lift.
Nice teamwork there.
Steve Dahl, yeah, good move. Hey, Bill rolls him up in a small package. Only one, though, can make it stick.
Yeah, it's tough to get a guy like Steve Dahl to get a pin on him that quickly. Ooh, my goodness, there's a mistake by Bill.
Boy, Steve Dahl was standing right flat on his feet and waited for Marino to come off the ropes. He went for the press. All of a sudden, Dahl just politely ducked and got out of the way there.
That's one of those gambles, but once you're committed to midair, you got nowhere to go but hit the mat if he moves out of the way, and that's what Dahl did.
Oh, boy, look at that. Rex King comes off the top ropes, leaps over Dahl, and gets Bill Marino down. Oh, reverse neck breaker. From Rex King. Goes over and nails Steve Marino while Bill's in the ring.
I think we could say Rex King is not very impressed with the young stallion so far. They're certainly not lightweight wrestlers. Let me tell you, Mr. King, you better not overlook them.
Indeed. Rex King and Steve Dahl. Simply Divine. The young stallions, Bill and Steve Marino in the USWA. Got Bill out. Oh! Steve Dahl comes down and catches a big boot from Bill Marino. Steve Dahl thought it was over with, but it wasn't. Down Steve Marino of the young stallion. Oh, look out.
Oh, goodness. Here's PG-13 just jumping in the ring, interfering. It's 4 against 2. The young stallions being hammered by PG-13 and Simply Divine. Here comes Jeff Jarrett to kind of even things out. He's got a score to settle with Steve Dahl, but Steve Dahl immediately gets out of the ring when he sees Jeff, and he's gone. There they go. My goodness gracious, what an ending. As we had a match, the interference. Yeah, Jeff's got a comment here. Yeah, Jeff.
1 second. Brian Christopher, it's not my style to come out here and moan and cry. And I'm not going to do that. I just want to serve notice to you. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to pay you back and I'm going to get that Southern title because you don't know what it means to me. And Rex King and Steve Dahl, I used to just want your belts, boys, but now I want your hides and I'm going to get them, and that's a promise.
Jeff Jarrett, going to be looking for him, let me tell you. We'll be back here. You stay with us, fans. We're not done yet. Well, the USWA World Tag Team Champions are here right now, and you guys, especially you, haven't been all that welcome here today.
Hey, let me tell you something. We care less about welcome by you bunch of rednecks, you coupon clipping, beer swilling rednecks. Let me tell you something, Jeff Jarrett, and you listen up real good. You're up here moaning and groaning and wiping your eyes, talking about how somebody else cost you your little belt out here. Hey, bottom line, Jeff Jarrett, the bottom line is this. You, today, right here on national TV, got beat by a better man. And let me tell you something else. Monday night, right here in Memphis at the Coliseum, the gold is on the line. You think we fight like a couple of tigers when we're fighting a couple of jabronis out there? You should see how we do when the gold's on the line. Now, you got a partner you think so big and bad. We left him laying today. And Monday night in Memphis, boys, there's no way in this world, in heaven, that you're going to get these belts. I'm telling you right now. And we're not out to beat you. We're tired of messing with you. Monday night in Memphis, it all ends. Tell him, Rixie.
That's right. You know, Jeff Jarrett, you bring in Billy Joe Travis, who thinks he's so big and bad, he can get down with the best of them. Well, Billy Joe, I'll tell you right now, neither one of you are our calibers. We've held titles in 33 different countries. Everywhere we've been, we put these kind of straps around our waist. And I can guarantee you, in Memphis, it's going to be no different. Jeff Jarrett, I hope you got your mommy waiting for you out back, because when we get done, you're going to be crying to her.
Well, Steve Dahl and Rex King, Simply Divine, bring the belts to the Coliseum this week.
That will be there.
You, like Brian Christopher, a true gentleman, said, keep your mouth shut. You leave the talking to somebody that's got something to say. We'll bring the belts. You just bring those two little pansies all you people cheer and love about. Because I'm telling you right now, they're bleached blood right now. But Monday night, the blood's going to flow, and they're going down.
Hey, one more thing, Dave. When you're the greatest tag team in the sport of professional wrestling today, they don't just call you a great tag team. They call you Simply Divine.
Simply Divine will be at the Mid-South Coliseum. They will have the gold on the line, as they say. You know, I'm not sure Jeff Jarrett's going to be looking for the title so much as he's going to be looking to get his hands on Steve Dahl, especially after what happened right over there just a few minutes ago. Let's check it all. Monday night, huge night, 8 huge matches at the Mid-South Coliseum. 7:30 is when it all begins. Young Stallion Steve Marino will be going against Wolfie D in a single match. Following that, J.C. Ice will be going against Ms. Texas. That should be a good match, too. The Grudge Challenge match. Following that, Bill Marino, the other of the Young Stallions, will be facing the Rock and Roll Phantom. Danny Davis will step in against Scotty Flamingo. Scotty the Body against the Nightmare, Danny Davis, in a single match. Then you're going to put 8 of them in the ring all at the same time. Young Stallions, Danny Davis, Ms. Texas, and across the way, the Rock and Roll Phantom, PG-13, and Scotty Flamingo, an 8-wrestler battle brawl. Return grudge match. Coco Beware is looking for Brian Christopher. He'll get his chance to get his hands on him right in the middle of the ring Monday night at the Coliseum. The USWA tag titles will be on the line. The gold is at stake, says Simply Divine. Rex King and Steve Dahl going against Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis, a couple of tough opponents if you just make the match and put them in the ring. But when Steve Dahl trips Jeff Jarrett from outside illegally and cost him the Southern title, you add something else to it that Jeff Jarrett is going to be trying to settle in that ring Monday night, whether the belts were on the line or not. But that's not all. The unified title is on the line. The King will bring his belt, and he will be defending against the man that Sensational Sherry has sent in here, Papa Shango. There he is, Papa Shango, coming to the Mid-South Coliseum this Monday night to battle the King, Jerry Lawler. 8 incredible matches. They all begin at 7:30. Make your plans right now to be there.
Indeed. It's going to be a big night Monday night.
You are right. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to return more right after this. After the match last week, you know Sherry Martel was very, very upset. She swore that she was going to get even with the King. And this week, sending into the Mid-South Coliseum, Papa Shango from the WWF.
Here is Papa Shango! And his opponent, weighing in at 246 pounds, hailing from Anaheim, California. Here is Mark Mead!
Oh, my goodness, a shoulder breaker. And this man, Papa Shango, almost broke Mark Ming in half. Forget about it.
His opponent, weighing in at 330 pounds. Here is Papa Shango!
The WWF has sent a lot of tough ones in here. Your chance to see Papa Shango Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. We have had quite a day here today. The change of the title. The new champion, like it or not, Brian Christopher, holds the Southern Heavyweight belt.
Oh, boy.
We'll have more next week. We hope you'll join us. Until then, for Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.